Alright, so we're going to do another thermostat here. And I know I have one video out there already on how to do this job, but I'm going to do another one. And between the two, hopefully it'll help you out. First thing we're going to do is remove this air intake here. And let's get started. Alright, so I'm just going to take a screwdriver here and loosen up this band clamp. You could also use a small socket or a nut driver. Okay, and then you've got a thumb screw right back here that you need to remove. Okay, so there's a little illustration on the top of the intake here. Basically it's saying to lift up from the back and then pull forward a little bit. And I'm just going to stick that out of the way. Okay, what we're trying to get at here is this bracket, and we're going to remove that next. I believe those are going to be 10mm nuts. Alright, so I sprayed down those nuts a little bit here. See if we can get those broken loose. They were quite rusty. Alright, what I like to do when I get to the end is take my fingers and try to grab it from underneath and hold it into the socket. Just like that, so it doesn't fall out. Alright. Pull the camera back here. Alright, so I'm just going to pick this up and set it out of the way a little bit. The idea is we just need to get to this thermostat housing. We're going to have to pull up on it. So that bracket, you know, it might be able to stay there, but it's going to be easier with it out of the way. Alright, next we need to get these bolts down here in the thermostat housing. There's a little clip on this one. So we've got to pull that up and out of the way. There's a heater core hose. And that's the clip. And it just basically slips down over the stud there. So I believe these are 13mm. So let me get that and see if I can position the camera a little bit better. Alright, we'll spray these down a little bit. Sometimes the studs come out just about out of penetrating fluid. I'm going to use a 13mm deep and a long extension just so I can get the ratchet up and out of the way. Well, let me just break the other side loose here. Alright. Okay, so there's the stud. Let's get this one here. Alright, let me move the camera here before I pull that up. Alright, so you're apt to lose a little bit of antifreeze or Dex Cooler here. I do have a catch pan underneath. Again, if you have animals, dogs, use caution. They like this stuff and it's toxic to them. Alright, so got that up out of the way. And I'm going to pull this thermostat out and I'm apt to lose a little bit more. So let's go ahead and see what I get here. And I can hear it is running down and hitting the catch pan, so that's good. Okay, I'm going to take a rag and kind of clean that up. I'm going to let that drain out a little bit. Again, this is antifreeze. Yours might have Dex Cool in it. Someone must have flushed this out and put the antifreeze in it, just like my other Blazer. So, all right, let me go ahead and get this cleaned up a little bit, and I'll be back. All right, so I did happen to notice if you pull it out and you don't have your gasket, it might be lodged up in here. So make sure you get that gasket out. If you have a new one, it's going to be on it like that. So otherwise it's not going to seat correctly. So what I'm going to do is just take a rag and kind of clean up on both sides a little bit. I'm not gonna do too much. There's no Permatex or anything like that, gasket shellac on it, so you don't have to worry about cleaning it up like you did the old gaskets. But I just like to wipe it down a little bit. And the underside of this as well. Alright. So what we're going to do is put this new one in here. And if you were paying attention, it goes like this. Down into the block like that. And we're going to go ahead and put it back together. It's that easy. Let me get the studs that we pulled out. Alright, these again were 13 millimeter, and I'm using a deep well socket. I'm just going to finger tighten these first. And I always like to do that because if you happen to have it cross-threaded and you go right at it with the ratchet, you're just going to cause more problems, where if you finger tighten it first, you know, and it happens to be cross-threaded, you'll catch it before you actually do any damage, or you should. So I like to do that. So you don't have to, but that's just the way I do it. Okay, I'm going to put the other one in, get it snugged down before I go too far here. Okay, we've got to get this one in the back here, and you can see the hole, I think, on camera right there. So it's a little more difficult to get to. And you might have to wiggle the housing a little bit to get it threaded. And again, I'm going to try to get it started with my fingers. I'm just taking both fingers and kind of twisting it like this. And then I lift up on it and make sure that it's threaded. And that's it. That's in there all right. Alright, what I'm going to do is snug these down. And one thing that some viewers comment on is I don't give torque specs. It's because I've done these jobs for years without a torque wrench. I do happen to have one now. These are 21 foot-pounds of torque on these Vortec 4.3s. And actually, my guess is that I over-torque them. And I'm not going to torque this down. But 21 foot-pounds is what the manual says if you want to do that. So 21 foot-pounds is not very much. What I do is I tighten them down so they don't fall out, but so that I can get them out again, and I don't want to break anything. Alright, moving right along here, I'm going to put this clip on. This is a little heater core hose clip. And it just slides down over the threads, and then that just sits in there, and it probably just keeps it off that alternator there so the vibration doesn't chafe on it. So, alright, now we're on to this bracket here. Let me move the camera. Alright, so these ones here were 10 millimeter. And again, I'm just going to finger thread them here, but try to get them started. And that's where spraying them down helps, because I'm sure we could have gotten these off without spraying them down, but when you use a little bit of penetrating fluid or WD or something like that, and you back them off, the nut cleaves the threads out. So when you go to put it back on, you can do a pretty good job with your fingers. Okay, I'm going to just use this little extension here. And for you torque spec folks, pardon me, I didn't look these torque specs up. This is just a bracket. I would say tighten it down, but don't break anything. Try not to hit the camera here. Okay. Alright, so on this air intake here, I thought I'd show this real quick. It's got this little clip, and that slides down under here. And that's why when you first take it off, you have to lift up in the back and slide it off. So we're just going to do the reverse to get it on there. And make sure this hose in the back didn't come unplugged. We have this little thumb screw here. I don't know if I showed you that when I took it off, but alright, and then we have this air intake here. And we tighten it down. So hopefully this video has been helpful. What I'm going to do next is take the car outside, let it warm up, see if we have heat. It's about 20 degrees here in Maine today. So this is my wife's rig and she wants heat, so I can't blame her. If you do have questions or comments, leave them here. Again, I've made another video of the same job. Maybe I'll link to it here. If you want to see more of this type of stuff and you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button for me and give me a thumbs up if you thought this was a decent video. If you're doing this, good luck, have fun, and thanks for watching.